like and subscribe. What is your best method for clearing your mind and feel stronger and more resilient emotionally when you're worried, stressed, or upset? Edit. So many great responses. I am happy and grateful for so many tips. I go for walks. Throw some music on and just walk where my legs take me, no set path or anything. I find the change of scenery helps to reset my mind, and walking is better than sitting round the house worrying. This is a good tip. I love talking walksy. Yes. I have been listening to some guided meditations while I walk lately. It is so relaxing. This is going to make me go for a walk now, thank you X. Second this. Walking alone without the destination, without any music, just being with myself, and letting the thoughts drift freely has helped me tremendously in the most difficult times. Definitely. When I am confined to a room or my home, it feels like my worries expand to fill the space. I go for long walks as well, but I usually listen to podcasts or audiobooks, free library rentals through the Libby app. Rather than music, if I want to get my mind off of something upsetting or worrisome, I often find it helpful to focus on someone else's, fictional or not, conflict/story that is unrelated to whatever I'm fretting about in my own life. Sometimes if I'm listening to music I'm familiar with, it's too easy to drift back into my worry thoughts. Audiobooks give me just enough inconsequential focus. Going to the gym. Lifting heavy stuff is great for clearing my head. Yeah. And also for me dancing. Yes to the gym. I have major depressive disorder and medication/therapy have only done so much. 3 weeks ago I started going back to the gym after a few years away, and I am already feeling better. Energy and mood are up, and it feels good to do something good for you. Lifting specifically has hugely helped my mood. I started lifting recently. In the past, I went to the gym, but mostly did cardio, didn't really help my mood at all. The only cardio I do nowadays is taking a long walk. This is the truth. Nothing matters when you've just thrown around a bunch of heavy. It's magical. I honestly just let it all out when I'm alone. Imagine ugly crying plus verbally expressing my frustration/complaints/worries until I feel better. I always seem to emerge stronger after a good emotional breakdown. There is a sacredness in tears. They are not a mark of weakness, but of power. They speak more eloquently than 10,000 tongues. They are the messengers of overwhelming grief, of deep contrition, and of unspeakable love. Washington Irving. I have cried myself to sleep. Wake up feeling much better. Like the day has some silver lining I did not notice before. I read somewhere that having a pity party once a month is probably good for you. Really, it's just going through, processing and crying it all out. We all need those moments. I like to call this a soul bath. I read something recently that if you play music with lyrics that you know and sing out loud, basically your brain can only focus on one major thing at a time, so paying attention to the song and singing out loud takes up all that attention span. I'm yet to try it personally though. I once borrowed my little sister's Hannah Montana CD and blasted that through my headphones on repeat to break a depressive thought cycle looping through my brain. I really don't like Hannah Montana, but if it didn't work, do it. Every day when I take a shower, that is my self-care time. I am in there for an hour, but only about 15 to 20 minutes is actually in the shower. The rest is me blasting my favorite songs and singing. Started doing this about a year ago. Has improved my mental health immensely, and therapy lol. I can vouch for this. I do it at work, and it helps keep my mind off my neck/nerve pain. This is the absolute best while driving, since driving lets my mind wander to places I cannot distract it from easily. Pretend you're at karaoke alone and let it all out. Even better if it is not a sad song. This is my go-to move. This is hilarious and totally true. When I was riding a tough course, when I was a teen, my horse refused to jump and my trainer told me to come around and take it again, but choose a song and sing it while I went around the course. I chose How Far I'll Go from Nana and belted it out all the way around the ring, and my horse didn't refuse again. Afterwards my trainer told me I was overthinking and getting in the horse's way, and having to focus on remembering the lyrics distracted me, so I'll let the horse do her job. I still use this trick, but usually I sing more quietly lol. A shower. I can cry in there with a lot of privacy, or put on music I like, and sing/scream out my feelings. But something about hitting refresh button by taking a shower does wonders for me. It is like circling back down the ladder of Maslow's hierarchy, and taking care of basic human needs helps me slow down and take a pause. Add in a post-shower nap and a meal and I usually have a lot more stamina after that to handle whatever's going on. Research shows showers and other forms of water, ocean waves, rain, has a positive self-soothing effect on our brains. I find it so helpful. I really like how you said, edit, handle whatever's going on. Because I was sitting here thinking, well, if I am feeling really crappy sometimes I am just stuck. Like those feelings are the result of something permanent that cannot be changed. But when you say handle whatever's going on, it is the active response, where you feel crappy, but you are going to resolve it one way or another. I like that a lot. Related, sometimes when I'm spiraling I will go sit, or lay in my cold, empty ceramic tub. Something about the tub is comforting, and the cool surface cools me down literally and emotionally. I suppose like the holding an ice cube trick, but I'm sitting in the cold. This probably isn't good advice, but it works for me. I just tell myself nothing matters and to just it. Worrying solves nothing. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, and whatever ends up happening happens. Try your best to get the outcome you want, but if that's not what you get, it's fine. Deal with what comes next. I am going through something really tough right now, and I think reading this comment helped me the most lol. I think it is good advice. I call it positive nihilism like, oh well, I don't have a genie to magic it better, but I look dumb as hell if I am spending my time on this BS while I can. Insert something I can do RN like study, paint nails, do laundry, etc. I do this too. Sometimes when I catch myself thinking about the worst case scenario again, scenarios which are highly unlikely, I say to myself if it happens, and it probably won't, you'll be forced to deal with it, so there's no point in worrying. It's hard not to worry though. This mindset has helped me so much. I used to worry a lot and now I try to think for myself, worrying about this would help me? I really wish I could think that way, and I admire those of you who really understand that worrying doesn't solve anything. I can see it, but I can't use it. And whoever I put my problem to, everyone tells me exactly that, and a lot of people seem to be doing well with that, but I'm one of those people who thinks too much, who can't fall asleep without some podcast in the background, who's worried about everything all the time and it's exhausting to me. But I see some tips here that might help me, thank you guys. This is 90% of Zen practice. Detachment from results frees you to put in 100% of your effort. This probably isn't very helpful to a lot of people, but after years of dealing with GAD, and, almost daily, panic attacks, I started telling myself that I don't *HAVE* to feel the way I do when I start spiraling. I tell myself there's no immediate danger, and that panicking is only hurting me. I would say 7/10 times, it works, and although it isn't a perfect method, it's made a dramatic improvement in my life. Just because you have a thought does not mean you have to follow it. One of my favorite meditations is R-A-I-N. And it is focused on how you are the sky and your emotions are the weather. You stay the same, but emotions will come and go. This sounds so simple, but reassuring yourself is hard. And remembering that the words you tell yourself matter, whether it is a thought or you actually say it aloud. I wanna try this, a good suggestion. That is awesome, it reduced your panic attacks that much. I had a health scare 3 mo ago, have done tests, and gotten all good news, so pretty sure it was just the birth control I was on. But I still get negative thoughts, wondering if it will happen to me again. Don't like being alone. Thoughts jump to worst case scenario. My counselor told me to recognize and stop myself when I do that. To fact check, and then let that thought go. Medically I am fine, with a normal heart and brain, no blood clotting disorders. But it hurts hard to shake off that what if vertical bar thought cycle. There is no immediate danger. I am curious and legitimately asking, because I feel like immediate danger is easier to solve. When I have had attempts made on my life previously, I am generally calm, because my one thought is stay alive. Don't die. No use worrying, because if I fail, I am dead. I am not in immediate danger anymore, but how would you handle something like an upcoming test, if a lot rides on it? For example, if I don't get a 90+ on my organic chemistry exam, it'll basically botch my chances at getting into a good medical school, and I have already spent all these years perfecting my resume, doing extracurriculars, volunteering at hospitals, picking a medical related major. So much rides on this test. I have to get an A in basically every STEM class and my GPA needs to be stellar if I am to be accepted into an American medical school, otherwise I'll have thrown away the last few years of my life and all that effort. I am panicking because if I it up, I have to live with that up forever, and I then have to continue figuring out a way out of this mess. Not to mention my family will be disappointed and ashamed of me if I don't get into medical school. To me that is a much scarier danger than trying not to die at the hands of this person trying to kill me, because it is so much more complicated. And someone trying to kill me, though immediate, is a short-lasting danger. They either succeed or they don't. Whereas a high-stakes issue like an exam is a long, drawn-out danger, which makes it all the more excruciating, because it takes days, and repeats every month for 4 years. Going for a walk/exercising and setting the intention to not think about the situation that is bothering you. Even doing some other activity, talking to a friend, making music, etc etc. with the intention of not thinking about it. I have found that when I go for a long walk and choose not to mull over the stress, at the end of the walk I feel a lot better, and with my mind as calm as it is, I come up with better solutions. Allocate time to not think about the issue. In brief, give yourself a break. Edit, typers. Breathing. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out, 4 seconds hold, and repeat, with one hand on my belly, and one on the cold floor or ground. I just pack the bowl and light all my probs up. Same. This too. Helps so many problems pounds. Masturbate. Toucher. Honestly, forcing yourself to be cleared from stress is not the solution. For me, I just let the emotions flow. Sometimes it will consume me, but it's how things should go. Some say, face your miseries. Hence, letting all emotions be felt, and trying to master it. The next time I feel it, I've grown to it already, and would try to refrain the emotion because I have felt it already. One emotion after another. One day at a time. Yes. My counselor always says to sit with it, feel it, then let it go. I spent years running from emotions. I almost wrecked a friendship and job over them. Once I let myself feel them, I could heal them. I really like this view. I don't want to dull myself to my emotions all the time by avoiding them. I agree. Letting yourself feel instead of repress. Sometimes just allowing myself to feel heavy with grief and sob is so cathartic. Afterwards I always feel so much lighter. What we resist persists. I love a good driving range. I journal to organize my thoughts and address what is worrying me. I'll also soundboard thoughts off my walking, preferably around nature, without headphones. Hearing the sounds of the natural world helps put life into perspective. I hear this. I love music and sometimes I am in a battle with myself over headphones or no headphones, but at the end of the day, truly being immersed in nature and its sounds helps me be more present and sort through whatever I am feeling. But ultimately, just being out there and having a limitless sky over my head helps clear my mind and relieve my stress. I usually just ask myself if this thing that I'm worried or upset about would matter in 2 to 3 days. Daily exercise keeps those feelings at bay for the most part. However, I listen to a free guided meditation podcast, Meditation Oasis, if I need something immediate. Stoicism changed my life. The meditations of Marcus Aurelius did more for me than all the self-help media combined. Would you recommend any books or articles? Sitting down and doing yoga/meditating. I have a short saying that I repeat until my mind goes blank, or I stop fixating on the thing that has me upset. I just sit for a while, then slowly start moving and stretching. By the end my body feels great, and it gave me time to process what I'm upset about, and find a better mindset to take on for the rest of the day. Intense walking while listening to bluegrass music, followed by a snuggle session with my dogs. I can't snuggle when I'm too agitated, so I power walk first. Bluegrass is surprisingly cathartic. Not only can I sing at the top of my lungs, the time signature matches my angry heartbeat. Do you have any favorite bluegrass artists? Walk. Swim. Hot bath with Epsom salts and some lavender oil. Reading a favorite novel. I have been waiting for a chance to tell someone this idea I created. I have never heard of this before, but it is so helpful for anxiety, insomnia, and finding a way to stay present. It's basically a way to break obsessive thinking in the moment as it is happening. I invented this as a way to fall asleep at night after anxiety started causing severe insomnia. Basically, I noticed that anxiety would get me heavily focused on one event or conversation or worry, whereas my non-anxious sleepy brain would dance lazily from one simple image/idea to the next before drifting off. A red heart o vertical bar, a reborn o vertical bar, a flutter of wind. So I started deliberately making this happen. I'd just start with one idea and try to immediately jump to something else. The ideas can be related o vertical bar or not. The jump can be internti or low vertical bar or not. There are no rules, except that you should try to let your mind move rapidly and verbalize, or mentally think, one word for each concept or image you jump through. I usually do 1 word per second, roughly, and it pushes me to keep moving. Sometimes a word will be repeated, if you're really stuck on it, and that is okay. There are times where I just think, fear, 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 and feel *stuck**you are vertical bar but somehow repeating this thought helps me to acknowledge it, and my mind starts looking for more interesting paths. Sometimes this exercise will feel challenging when you're in a weird mental place, and you can deliberately create a mental thinking path as a way to free up your mind by finding an easy set of jump thoughts, such as listing colors, textures, or things you see in the room. Red, green, pink, white might branch out to rainbow, sky, grass. The interesting thing is that this technique both allows you to potentially process your anxiety by observing the ideas that reoccur or where your thoughts take you, but it can also be used as a way to push yourself to step out of anxiety by gently deciding, I need to move my thoughts forward to something else, and directing my mind towards new thought areas. The key here is never to punish any thought or stress, just let those idea jumps move fluidly and rhythmically. How does this look? Here's me jump thinking right now. Car, steering, blue, shine, metal, retro, fridge, family, parents, abuse, childhood sweater, sat, crying as a kid, family, little, notes, half-sibs, Christmas, gifts, stuffed dog, vacation trip, car, truck, the south, Trump, fear, anger, frustration, progress, movement, water, pathway, walk in park, hike up cliff, hiking Facebook group, hiking boobs, buy nothing group, love, community, family, trust, happy tears, sparkle, shine, glitter, Dollar Tree store, art supplies, clay, desire to work with clay, fear of failure. As you can see, I am focused on family right now, which makes sense to me, because I am feeling sad about the distance and lack of familiarity in my family at present. But you can also see how I move forward by allowing my mind to make loose connections and travel to new places. Take a moment to really look at my jump thought example there, and I think it'll answer most questions you may have about this technique. This is an interesting version of what Freud's concept of free association is based upon. Only that the stream of words isn't analyzed by an external observer guiding the self-reflection, but is used to drive the internal monologue into overload, and thus defocusing in sleep. https psychology.org/pages/254/free association. HTML. My go-to for insomnia is listing random movie titles in alphabetical order: AZ, Ace Ventura, Baby Driver, Casino, Drive, Doolittle, etc. I fall asleep around the middle of the second round. I want to trial this for a week, but I DK what to do about my thoughts circling back around to negative things. Like I had a fight with my sister, blocked her and then panicked and uninstalled the group chat, so she wouldn't know I blocked her. Ugh, dumb. And now I feel terrible and I DK how to stop obsessing when I should be sleeping. I recently tried dopamine detox, and I would recommend doing it. Definitely clears your mind. Please elaborate. How do you do it? When I have the time, I paint. If I don't, I just watch random short vids on YouTube, and after some time I find myself fighting and living again. Obviously this cannot happen all the time, but I usually take a couple of mental health days from work per year. I make myself turn off all email, Slack and social media notifications. I do not do any chores, or make any plans. Instead I just do whatever I want. Last mental health day I took a walk with my brother and newborn niece, treated myself to lunch, and a fancy iced matcha tea, watched TV and ended the day outside on a picnic on the grass reading and eating a snack. I'm very much of the belief that we need to turn off our brains completely sometimes. Going for walks. Really long walks. Without headphones, mind. I have a stress journal, and I use different ways of writing, backwards, dwarfish, to slow myself down, and think on the words. Usually I tear up, and cry a bit and it refreshes. Otherwise a punching bag session is a great workout. I live on the coast, so I get in my car, drive down the coast road and scream at the top of my lungs. Do it, it really helps. That would be so cathartic. I wish I was close to the ocean. Smoke a joint. Bourbon. And yelling at people in Spanish. Ask myself if there is anything I can do to improve whatever the situation is. If there is, I work towards that. If there is not, I ask myself if the worrying, stress/upset, is making my situation better or worse. Generally the answer is worse. At this point there isn't a whole lot to do except accept the situation and or prepare to deal with whatever outcomes are coming. I'm not saying all of this is easy. When I was taught this, it initially just head me off. It's mental exercise that takes practice. Meditation. Mood lighting, candles and lo-fi music all whilst taking deep breaths. Whatever it is you are going through, I hope you can get through it, Opus. I believe in you. I run. I do most of my problem solving while running. I am a fixer, so I don't like to sit on whatever it is that is bothering me. I quickly take time to process my emotions, then I move on to finding a solution. I clean like a mad woman. I try to keep my body busy and be productive at the same time. I also will go for a walk occasionally. Everyone is commenting like healthy stuff, but for me it's turning on Love Island UK. I can't even describe the amount of serotonin and oxytocin my brain gets by living vicariously through the islanders' lore. Telling myself that no one is going to come save me like a princess, so I have to be my own superhero. Or ending the night forgiving myself and saying I'll try harder the next day. Letting go of the guilt and the anxiety of it is basically what happens with both of these. Sometimes when I am really frustrated with someone I care about, I'll mentally eulogize them to find the things I'd miss if they were not around. Sounds silly, but it works for me. Go for walks, call my mom, write down 3 good things that happened that day, get a cup of coffee from my favorite coffee shop, repeat a mantra to myself. I'll listen to music. I read books. And I exercise. Go and do that thing you want to do right now. Just go out there and do it. I start with basic tasks that need to be done, and work from there. Make a small list starting with the easiest problems to address, and work up to larger or harder things. This could mean I'm cleaning my house, or it could mean I'm finally addressing long-standing errands that I've been putting off. While it may not fix what I'm stressed about, it does bring a sense of accomplishment, and relieves me of those small nagging unfinished tasks at the same time. You've been visited by the ghost of a very important man. Pay your respects by liking and subscribing, and he'll grant you 3 weeks of good luck.